So I want to make it very clear to anyone who watches my shit that I talk a lot of shit because this is a radio show. Like, my goal in this is to be a peace pirate in a land submarine. At least that's what I'm calling myself. And my land submarine is a 2004 Honda Odyssey that I'm going to convert into a minivan camper, such as you see here. It's going to be a beautiful beast. I intend to have Starlink on it and have a solar system and not need to worry about shit anymore. I want to get a couple acres and build a big ass screened in living room basically to put my cat in while I build a cabin. I figure that I can build something like a screened in porch pretty quick and then throw some leather furniture I have in there and build one wall of like plywood and deck it in something on the outside so it's kind of weather resistant and put like a TV and shit up against that wall. Have kind of a place to hang out while you're building cabins. I've talked about that a little bit, but like this is my plan now to make this feasible because I figured that I need kind of a home base kind of a thing. And the with the minivan camper, you get a lot. You get a vehicle that can go pretty much anywhere that has roads and some places that don't. I'm gonna my minivan already doesn't have the bumper on it. The bumper cover was torn off, and I have that, but I'm not gonna put it back on. I'm actually just gonna start bolting shit to the exposed bumper. I'm gonna get a winch and some big ass headlights and shit like that, and I'm gonna make this fucking shitty ass minivan an expedition vehicle. And my thought is, if everywhere that I'm going to go has at least gravel roads, and I have a winch, I'm fine. Okay. And I would think that this thing could probably even go a lot of places that don't even have gravel roads. And now, if I was going to do this with money, I would get a four-wheel drive van. And I don't know if I would get a minivan then. I don't know. I like the minivan because of fuel economy, size, and internal storage. Like, it has a good external size to internal capacity ratio. It's kind of a big empty shell on the inside, and you can build a lot of shit into it. As you're seeing here in these pictures, there people have built all sorts of shit into them. I'm just gonna build like a platform to put a mattress on, and build like some cabinets to put my solar rig stuff in and my fridge in, and that's all I'm gonna do because there's kind of a trunk area on this thing, and I can build a thing for the fridge in there pretty easy. I'm gonna do that. Other than that, I really don't want to do a lot to the van. I don't see the need to modify it a lot, other than what it needs to have done to it. And like I said in the last video I kind of made on this was a motorcycle you can sleep in. And the reason that I was calling it that is because you can go. My idea is the reason I'm calling it a land submarine is you can go submarine camping. Which, let me define that for you. You take one of these minivan campers and you load all of your gear and shit into the passenger section of the car. Like, that is your closet. So you pack it full of all the shit you're going to bring. And then the whole ass end of the car, you pack with food and bottled water and camping gear and whatever else that you need to stay out for a real long time. Every fucking inch of it's packed. And it's, either in a big waterproof rubber tub or you have a cargo tent that you're going to bring along, or both. I would do both. And you drive out to the middle of nowhere where there isn't anybody on, probably government land or whatever, and you pull out all your shit, set up camp, and you stay out there. And you do that for 2 weeks, and then you pack up all that shit and you move however far you have to legally move, and then you can set it all up again. Doing this, you could stay out for a really long goddamn time if you didn't have a cat with you or whatever, like I do, and you don't have to build a cabin someplace. you could just live like this. And with a cargo tent full of supplies slash someplace to hang out in, because that's what I would do is I would get like a big tent, like a GP medium sized tent. And I would have that to put my van cargo in, and I would bring some furniture along even to put in that tent. And by furniture, I mean like I would bring a couple of chairs and a folding table, and you know, if you could fit it in the van, something like a sorry, my lip just farted. I didn't want someone to think that that was me farting. I already had someone ask that about some other random weird noise. Anyway, uh, I'm totally lost where I was. The lip fart got me. Uh, I love the idea of this minivan though, and with a cargo tent like that, like I was saying, you set up kind of a little living room, eating area, and half of that, and have the other half of it for cargo. You're good. And like the places that you could do this would be out in like Arizona, high desert. That's where I would go. And the reason I would go there is if you pick the right spot and elevation, you can adjust the temperature that you're at by moving your campsite. That's dope. Arizona has good camping laws, which is dope. Uh, you won't stand out, which is dope. You know, there's probably other people out there doing this, and they're probably also kind of cool hippies. And if you're the one that's armed to the teeth of all the cool hippies, well, you know, that'll be a surprise for whoever tries to raid you. You know, peace pirate. This is why you're a pirate. It's not, you know, I don't plan on like actually going out and raiding or whatever, but like I'm fully capable. I could raid the fuck out of shit if I wanted to. I don't want to. All I want to do is be left alone and camp and smoke my weed and pet my cat and watch Star Trek and shit, man. Like that's what I plan on doing. And as such, I just want to be left alone. And being really well armed ensures that I will be left alone. And if I'm out there doing this shit, I might just have melee weapons and a black powder revolver because I don't want to appear to be a terrorist. And that's a legitimate concern in today's society, sadly. I would probably be lightly armed, and this is why all of my shit is so crazily done. It's, you know, I might be really defending my shit with a black powder revolver and a spear. And like maybe I'll have like a fucking pocket pistol with me or something like that. But I'm probably definitely not going to be bringing shit that looks like scary and all assaulty and whatever, looking like some sort of fucking terrorist. Like that's my goal in having my own land is I want to be able to do that kind of shit, and the way that you can really do that is to have your own land. So the minivan camper thing is this is the cheapest thing you can do, and the cheapest thing you can do is to go free camp out in Arizona. The next cheapest thing you can do is buy an acre or 2 acres of land and camp on it, either in Arizona or wherever you are. I would go with wherever you are because you probably have family near you. Or if you don't, I would buy your land someplace where there is family near you. This is the stuff I haven't heard many people talking about. It's like, you know, what should you really do if you if you don't have much and this is really happening, which that's why I really almost can't stand to talk to some of my old friends anymore, is because in my life this is really happening. I really am doing some of this shit, and they're like sitting there bitching about having whatever else is going on. I'm like, I don't know, some of us are becoming pirates and living in vans and shit rather than fucking play by their rules. And maybe that's the difference between us is like I want to do this for the experience, and I want to do this to have that level of control over my life. What I really, really want to do is use this tool, this minivan camper, and this submarine camping, and a pile of tools powered by solar power to just build my own house. I intend to do that. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do every bit of that yet. I have some general ideas. I kind of want to experiment and play around. I'm probably going to do open air hallways made of like decking and screen with fucking uh, clear plastic corrugated roofing over them, connecting rooms built in different styles. Like I'm gonna have my central cabin is gonna be kind of modern construction, and from there, like I would like to have a blacksmith shop that'll just be kind of a thrown up roof with some shitty walls around it, and then there's gonna be like for sure an earth ship of some type made of like glass bottles and tires and shit. It's like at least a storage area or something like that. It's a free room to make, and like this is the stuff that I need land to have the ability to project, because there's stuff like this that is free to do if you just have time and garbage. And like this is some hippie bullshit, but like the hippies are right. The government's fucking lying to you. They're fucking sinking the ship now. Like the hippies were right in the 1960s. Um, our government is just run by evil psychopaths. Our government's run by people that desperately need a fucking acid trip. Maybe even like an ayahuasca trip, to be honest. I I don't know. What I do know is that I intend on having my land submarine and my cabin and my couple acres of land and just saying fuck them. I hope there continues to be gasoline because I'm kind of committed to that car. If there doesn't continue to be gasoline, then I have, one of the rooms of my cabin is going to be a bedroom that is an automobile. And long term, that's where that car is headed. That is going to be a room of my house, more than likely. Haven't planned that out fully yet, but it will be. It'll be like the weird, like there'll be a hallway to the car and then a hallway from the car to something else, and like you can walk through the minivan. I think that'll be cool. Build some sort of like hangout area in there. The minivan smoke room. Wouldn't that be fucking dope? Like this is the free shit that you can do. That's the thing, is eventually that minivan's going to be dead, and I paid $2,000 for the thing now. It's not going to be worth selling when I get done with it, especially after I have modified it. Although I don't know, my modifications are going to be pretty cool. That might actually sell the bitch. But I also love the idea of retiring her to be a part of the house. I'm big on recycling. I think that's the thing a lot of people don't understand is that I'm a blacksmith. I'm a knife maker. I love making stuff out of garbage. Like, that's the best. If I can find a piece of metal for free that's high carbon steel and forge it into a knife, fuck yeah. That's how I want to do everything in life now. Like, after doing that with this, why would you march to their beat, sorry, to the beat of their drummer? Like, it's their whole system is a lie. Their whole promise is if you go to college and get the good job and put the money in the stock market and yada yada yada, then you'll be whatever. Wrong. You're about to see the stock market crash hardcore. You're about to see some of these people committing suicide. I'm here to tell you, all that matters in life is love. That's it. Everything else is inconsequential. And whether that's familial love or romantic love, that's all that really matters. Everything else is survival. And they're a big ass tribe of people that have convinced the world that money matters more than love. And a bunch of other shit too. The only other thing that matters more than love is weed. Weed matters quite a bit. And now I'm getting a call from my grandmother, so I'm going to cut this one off early. I hope somebody likes these videos and these, I guess, philosophizing on the idea of living in a minivan. Thanks for watching. Fuck. There we go. This computer doesn't